Oh, that next project is right here in the room. We'll try and talk a little softly, not to wake everybody up there. I hope everybody's enjoying the meal, having a good time so far. Yeah. Everybody's enjoying their meal, having a good time so far? All right. Right after I said, let's not wake the young one up, then I have everybody yell. I know. Listen, I know that we are enjoying our meal. We are going to be having dessert coming out in a few minutes, but we want to keep the program rolling as well. So we'll try and eat our dessert quietly as we continue to honor Gail Carberry here this evening. I also want to point out that we have the pleasure of having several QCC students who are here. We have a number of the Phi Theta Kappa honor students here serving as our hosts this evening. Are they somewhere in here? Hopefully, can you give a little wave, maybe enjoying. We thank them for being here, being part of tonight's celebration, and for representing the school so well. Okay, so at this point in the evening. Oh, and remember, if you haven't had your picture taken in the back, don't do it right this second, but if you haven't had your picture taken in the back, make sure that at some point this evening, you get back there, have that picture taken so that can be part of that photo memory album from this great, great night. All right. We're going to have some very special people now who are going to come to the podium and talk about Gail and highlight what a special person she is and the impact, as we were just hearing, the impact that she has had on Quinsigamond Community College. So please help me welcome back to the podium the Board of Trustees Chairperson, Susan Mailman, and as she has served as QCC's board chair since October 2015, she's worked closely with Gail during her tenure. Also, we're going to call up right now Mr. Kevin O'Sullivan, President and CEO of the Massachusetts Biomedical Initiative. Kevin, before you get too much further, could I have you please, because listen, it would be one thing for everybody to come up and say all of these wonderful things and to have President Carberry sitting right there in the audience just soaking it up. But I really don't feel that there would be enough of an embarrassment factor for us all to see and enjoy if we had her sitting there. I think we should have her come up to this very uncomfortable chair that we have placed here on the stage. And Kevin, if you could maybe help escort Dr. Carberry up to the stage, and we will place her in that chair of honor for which we spared no expense. How's that? Good. Okay. No, very good. All right. Let's, without further ado, have Kevin O., the President and CEO of the Massachusetts Biomedical Initiative, of which Gail has been a trustee for these many years. Let's hear now from Kevin.
This will not be long. It'll be short and sweet. Gail, we go back a long way since your arrival in Worcester. Representing the life and health sciences community, the growth that we have seen in this community is large part because of the colleges and universities, but in particular, the support that you've given with the associate degree in growing your students, providing that workforce, and the enthusiasm that you have brought. You have really made a difference within this industry for years to come, and with all of the efforts that we have going, the bright sunshine ahead of us, you've laid the foundation. So we have a little presentation for you. It's a prestigious award that we give to people who have really contributed so much. It's a replica DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid, for those of you that may not know. But DNA is here to stay in Worcester, Massachusetts because of you. Here you go.
You go on a board like this so you can sit next to brilliant people. There are brilliant people in this community working on cures for some of the things that take our loved ones, including my daughter. I sat next to people who are working on a cure for diabetes. And I will tell you, to live in Worcester and work with people like this is a true honor. Kevin, thanks so much.
So would any trustees like to come join me up here? I'm told they're all on cue. Are you going to climb, Maddie? Or are you going to, yeah. So this is our cool, illustrious group of trustees marching their way up here, who care about our community college and who are as engaged as we can be. So we're very fortunate to have all of these people say yes when the governor calls and says, will you do this? So Gail, on behalf of the trustees, I have a feeling that the things that are true about Gail as she retires are things that we would all hope to be true about each of us when we retire. And I have a simple list, and sometimes I think simple is most meaningful. Will we each be able to say that we have left our institutions positioned for the future? That we have earned the admiration of our customers, in the case of Quinsig, our students, that we will be thought of with respect and a smile and a laugh by our coworkers, that our community has benefited from our work and our commitment, and that we have led by example during the times of success and the times of challenge, both personal and professional, because our work careers are made up of both colleagues, our family, and I know this is the case for Gail. All of these statements are true for Gail. It's an incredible honor and privilege for all of us to work with her during her tenure at Quinsig. Stacy, where are you? Come on, Stacy, stand up. Yeah, and our past chair, Stacy, is here as well. And I want to thank Gail for her incredible example, and I look forward to her continued friendship in the years to come and her continued impact on our community. Thank you. Gail likes Christmas, that's what she's saying. Kind of like WPI rocks. This is, thank you, Officer Miguel Lopez. Oh God, it's Lieutenant.
Thank you, Sue. I'm sure we can have some. Thank you, Kevin. I'm sure we can have somebody put that on your car tonight. Go out there and get that on there for you. Well, let's keep it going. And again, thank you, Sue. Thank you to all of the trustees. Let's bring up now to the podium the president of the QCC Foundation, Mr. Mo Bovair. Mo has served on the foundation for 4 years, and he's worked alongside Gail during the closing months of the RISE campaign. Mo.
Thanks, Hank. You do such a great job as MC. We really appreciate all the work that you've done for the Worcester community as well. I do want to welcome Linda Makel, who's the vice chair of our board of directors of the foundation, to help with this presentation this evening. And all of the trustees, all of the board members of the foundation, please stand up. All the board members of the foundation, please stand up. There's a lot of them, so we're not going to have them all come out here. Thank you very, very much. They all are working very hard to create access to public education for those who want an opportunity to be part of our community in a meaningful, contributing way. Events like this don't just happen, right? Somebody's got to do all the work, all the planning, all the behind the scenes, and I did want to take a minute to just thank the planning committee. Nancy Berthiaume, Selena Boria, Lucia Costa, Shirley Dempsey, Josh Martin, Lillian Ortiz, and Karen Rux. Please give them a warm round of applause. They did a fabulous job. Trustees, faculty, alumni, and friends of Quinsigamond Community College, on behalf of the Quinsigamond Community College Foundation Board of Directors, it is our pleasure and honor to make this special presentation to a very, very special person. In his book on leadership, John Wooden said, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care." Gail, your compassion for our students, staff, community are inspiring. Former President Barack Obama once said that the biggest deficit that we have in our society and in the world is a lack of empathy. As president of Quinsigamond Community College, you fill that void with an authentic, caring heart that motivated all of us to reach for the very best version of ourselves. Like most successful leaders, you have led by example, not only in compassion, but also by your generous support of Quinsigamond Community College through the endowment of the scholarship named after your daughter, the Amy H. Carberry Endowed Scholarship Fund. As you know, with your encouragement, the foundation has set fundraising goals that will significantly increase access to a college career opportunity for many on the lower socioeconomic side. Many brighter futures will be built, Gail, because of your leadership. As president, you had the courage to make the right choices, even when they were not always the popular path to follow. Your persistence in the pursuit of excellence has made QCC, if I can use the phrase, great again. Finally, your vision for the growth of QCC to include a series of satellites so that more students would have access to college, a college education. Sometimes we say, come to Quinsig and get a WPI degree. Come to Quincy, get a Holy Cross degree. Come to Quincy and get a Worcester State College degree. I have to tell you, on the way in, I took the time to introduce myself and to chat with the two students at the door. The first young man was in mechanical engineering, and I said, what are your plans? He says, I want to go to WPI next if I can afford it. And the young lady on the other side said, I'm in human services, I want to get my master's degree, I'm going to go to Worcester State College. And so we offer that opportunity for an affordable education that goes on. But in addition to that, come to Quinsig and build your skills in healthcare, photonics, human services, manufacturing, and many other skills which create a path to a successful career as well. Though the Quinsigamond Community College satellite, through the Quinsigamond Community College satellite, students have an easy access to become the best version of themselves as well. For your empathy and compassion, for setting such high standards of excellence for yourself and by extension to all of us, for your fortitude in doing the right thing, and for your vision that has guided Quinsigamond Community College to be the best community college in the state, dare I say in the nation. I take that from Larry, that's one of your favorite phrases. Dare I say, in the nation. The board of directors of the foundation is pleased to present a symbol of your many achievements on behalf of Quinsigamond Community College. And finally, we wish that you will find your somewhere over the rainbow in your retirement. And we know that you know there's no place like home. And we saw your project in that video 2 minutes ago. So we wish you the very, very best, and God bless in your retirement, Gail.
You see why I love my job? I mean, they're such good people.
Oh, that's wonderful. I know that everybody will have an opportunity to come up and see that after as well. Well, thank you, Mo. Thank you very much for that. Greatly appreciated. Again, we'll keep it going, and I will invite to the podium now a very special friend of QCC and of Dr. Carberry, Senator Harriet Chandler. She served in the Senate for Dr. Carberry's tenure. She has been a true advocate for Quinsigamond Community College and higher education. Senator Chandler, the first female from Worcester elected to the state Senate in 2001, second woman in Massachusetts history to serve as the Assistant Majority Leader, second woman in history to serve as the Majority Leader. She currently co-chairs the Prevention for Health Caucuses and the legislature's Oral Health Caucus. Please join me in giving a huge welcome, a warm Worcester welcome to Senator Harriet Chandler.
And I would like to invite up to the podium to join me my partner in dealing with Worcester and Quinsigamond College, Michael Moore, who is not here tonight, but I do have my friend with me, Jim O'Day, who also represents Quinsigamond Community College. Come on up. It is such an honor to be here tonight, but it's such a bittersweet feeling because, quite frankly, I wish we weren't celebrating your leaving. I mean, I'd like to hang on to you a little bit longer because you've been so wonderful. You notice the red shoes. I believe that this woman, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, like the red shoes on your table, just clicks those heels and really remarkable things happen. And remarkable things have happened at Quinsigamond in the last 10 years. You've done a lot of clicking, and you've brought the land of Oz to Quinsigamond. You really have. One thing after another has occurred. You've heard some of them. I'm not going to reiterate all of them. I'm not going to reiterate any of them because I think you don't need words to talk about the actions you've made. She's my role model and she's my heroine. And there is a verse in Proverbs that talks about a woman of valor. This is a woman of valor. It is such a pleasure for me tonight to be able to bring from the Senate and with my colleague in the House a citation to honor her. I don't think we can ever do enough to honor you, but you've done so much to honor us in your 10 years here. And so it reads as follows. Commonwealth of Massachusetts official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts legislature hereby extends its congratulations to President Gail Carberry in recognition of your retirement from Quinsigamond Community College. After 11 years, it is 11 years. I thought it was 10. 11? 11 years as president. And then, this is amazing because she couldn't possibly have done this, 40 years of dedicated service to education. This is remarkable. 40 years. And be it further known, the Massachusetts legislature extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the Senate President and the Speaker of the House and attested to and a copy thereof transmitted by the clerks of each. Signed by the President of the Senate, Stan Rosenberg, and the Speaker of the House, Bob DeLeo. It's attested to by our clerks, and I'm so proud to be able to have signed it, not just as your senator, with my colleague Michael Moore and my colleague Jim O'Day, but most important, in these 11 years, you've become not just your senator, but hopefully your friend as well. Thank you so much for all you do for us.
So good evening. I thought it was 10 years, but it's 11 years. It seems like it was only yesterday, Madam President. So it was 10 years ago in May that I was elected as a state representative representing the 14th Worcester District, which includes in its district Quinsigamond Community College. So imagine my horror as a freshman representative being called to a meeting at Quinsigamond Community College to talk a little bit with the Madam President about the luge road that they had going down the middle of their campus, because that's what it was like. It was like a luge track. And we've heard all evening, obviously, about the great caring president at Quinsigamond Community College. And we know that it's important for her that the students learn, that they have the best instructors, that they have the best equipment, and all of that is extremely true. But none of that stuff can happen if her students aren't safe. And that was her vision. And so I was reading here about her little miracle bottle on her window. And so the road around Quinsigamond, there was a movie, The Miracle Mile. Well, it's not quite a mile, but that was the Miracle Loop, right? That loop road around Quinsigamond, which made all the difference in the world, because it made certain the traffic went in an orderly pattern. We were now able to have our students cross the campus, and everyone was going to be safe. That's fantastic for Quinsigamond Community College. But early on, many of the neighbors weren't so sure how fantastic that was going to be. So I'm a freshman rep. I'm listening to the neighbors, to the president, to the alumni, regarding how we were going to make this project work. And I am so happy to say that with the cooperation of Madam President, not only did that project work, but the project downtown Worcester worked, the project in Southbridge worked, the project with the Quest building worked. Whatever this woman decided that she was going to do for that school, guess what? It worked. That's correct. And so for one quick moment of personal privilege, you know, being an elected official, you have an opportunity sometimes to have good things happen for you. But one of the greatest things that's happened to me in my 10 years in office was being identified by Madam President as one of the 50 guardians over the past 50 years at Quinsig. I can tell you that was an extremely proud moment for me, and I really believe that I owe it all to Madam President. So, Madam President, thank you very much. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, State Representative QCC Guardian Jim O'Day. Thank you, Senator Chandler, for those great words. We have another very special speaker for you this evening, because, of course, not only is Gail Carberry, as we have heard, a tremendous educator who has devoted not only the last 11 years to coming back home here to the Worcester community, but also 40-plus years in education. But she is also certainly, as we know from the video, a beloved wife, a mother, and a grandmother, and that her family absolutely means the world to her. So here to speak about his grandmother is Gail's grandson, Brendan Coomey.
Here tonight to talk about Dr. Gail E. Carberry, president of Quinsigamond Community College. Believe it or not, I've known her my whole life. She is known by many titles depending on who you are: president, colleague, friend, community leader, trailblazer. But I am one of the very few who have been fortunate enough to know her by another name, Nani. As I've grown older, my respect for my grandmother has grown more and more as I've learned more about what her job entails. Nani took the job at QCC when I was 5 or 6 years old. My earliest recollections of playing in her office have stuck with me through these years, and of course, asking her for money so I could buy ice cream from the vending machine. But now I have come to realize how much more there is to being a president of a community college other than being a professional babysitter. I've been fortunate enough to attend many special events that my grandmother has supported or has been honored for. Her great service to the community, such as this year's Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast. It's obvious to anyone who knows her how much she loves and cares for the community of Worcester and how much education matters to her. Everyone knows how hard she works. But even though she sometimes has a stressful job, she never lets it get in the way of family time. There's always a balance. She may come home stressing over a conflict with the state budget, but later that night, she's mimicking voices and making jokes about home buyers on HGTV. And of course, there are the mornings where I wake up and some sort of strange sound is coming full blast from the stereo downstairs. And I'll head down there to find her dancing in the living room to something called Creedence Clearwater Revival. I know I'm a teenager, and we're not supposed to show emotions. It's not the cool thing to do. But I'm so happy to be here today to honor her. My grandmother is one of my biggest role models because no matter what obstacle was put in front of her, she always managed to persevere and get over the obstacle and never lose faith in herself or the people around her. She's one of the strongest people I know. Not many people would be able to go through a life-changing event, such as losing a loved one, and come out on the other side better off for it. Even though I squirm away when she tries to hug me, again, teenager, there's no doubt that she, through her actions and through her words, has touched my heart. The time that she has had this job has provided me with many positive memories of my grandmother, and I'm looking forward to making even more memories with her in her retirement.
We'll bring you back to your seat so you can see the video. That was wonderful, Brendan. Thank you so much. We'll have you escort your grandmother back to her seat because there were some people who could not be here this evening, and so they have sent along some well wishes as well that we're going to be watching right now. So we'll let President Carberry get back to her seat. Luckily, we were all able to make it tonight. There wasn't a bad moon on the rise. All right. Thank you. That was wonderful. It was very emotional. Right now, though, as I said, there were some terrific people who wanted to make sure that they were able to honor President Carberry tonight, and they sent along this video message.
I wanted to join all of you in celebrating the retirement of President Gail Carberry. I have worked with President Carberry very closely since my arrival in Massachusetts in 2013. The one thing that always struck me in any conversation I had with her is that she would always put students first. And whenever we talked about academic policy or particular initiatives, she always focused on how would this positively impact students. And I've used the expression before that if I had to characterize her, I would use the term empathetic. She deeply cares about students. She deeply cares about the community. She makes sure you know that. and we wish her well on behalf of the Board of Higher Education. We wish her continued success in the years to come.
You and I got to know each other and to work with each other when I served for 2 terms as governor of Massachusetts. And you were one of the best partners a governor could hope to have. As president of Quinsig, you did so much to lift that great college to a level of greatness, capping a 40-year career of leadership in community colleges, such a central part of our economic and social justice agenda, really, throughout the Commonwealth. I thank you for your leadership, the example you set in causing the college to become such an important partner with municipal and not-for-profit and philanthropic and business leadership and sectors all around Worcester County and beyond, and for being a great friend and mentor to me. I wish you every good thing in your retirement. You have earned it. And I hope you really do use it to rest and recharge, and to continue, above all, to mentor the young leaders who look to you for the example you've set for greatness.
I just want to say thank you for your public service and for contributing so much to Central Massachusetts in your distinguished tenure at Quinsigamond Community College. First, accessibility, expanding the campus to downtown Worcester and to Southbridge, made it available to a lot of other people. Affordability, you were one of the first presidents to sign on to the Commonwealth commitment to make college education more affordable to those that desire it. And I just want to thank you for really reaching out to so many employers in Central Massachusetts, understanding the job growth and what the needs are, and connecting kids to work. You are a passionate leader, an inspirational leader. One of my favorite things to do with you is attending the MLK breakfast that you hosted every year, and I always look forward to your words. We will miss you, but you have a legacy to be proud of. We are extremely grateful for your hard work and effort, and all I can do is wish you good health for you to enjoy the next leg of your journey.
On behalf of the people of the Commonwealth of Mass, I want to congratulate you on a spectacular tenure in education and workforce development over the course of your many years serving people here in the Commonwealth of Mass. And I especially want to thank you for your decades service to Quinsigamond Community College, to the students, to the faculty, and to the greater Worcester County community. You've been a visionary, you've been a partner, you've been a collaborator, and the results are proven by the fact that your first graduating class had 700 students in it, and your last graduating class had over 1,400. That just speaks to the fact you and your team were doing the things that mattered to people in Worcester County, and your success and their success is the result of those efforts. Good luck, and I hope you don't become a stranger, and I hope you stay involved in all those issues you spent so many years committed to and building relationships and great programming for. Take care.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to celebrate the accomplishments of Dr. Gail Carberry of Quinsigamond Community College in Worcester, Massachusetts, who will be retiring after a decade of tireless service to the QCC family and over 40 years of inspiring students across the Commonwealth. From early on, Dr. Carberry recognized the impact one committed teacher can make in a young person's life. She understands at her core that community colleges present a transformative opportunity for students to be recognized for their talents and encouraged toward their goals. Dr. Carberry is a passionate advocate for expanding access to the opportunities that community colleges can provide. Because of Dr. Carberry's conviction that every student can achieve, QCC implemented a high school dropout prevention program, and Dr. Carberry personally endowed over $200,000 in scholarships for local community college students. She diversified the students, faculty, and staff populations to better reflect the community and implemented award-winning STEM programs to prepare students for the rapidly changing 21st century workplace. In keeping with her desire to equip her students with the skills they need to compete in the modern workforce, Dr. Carberry successfully opened a 72,000 square foot campus in downtown Worcester dedicated to the college's healthcare program, which not only addressed the needs of QCC students, but reinvigorated a large portion of downtown Worcester. As a result of Dr. Carberry's leadership, QCC has become a leading institution of higher learning in Massachusetts. This year, QCC graduated almost double the number of students it did only 10 years ago. Dr. Carberry has exceeded fundraising goals and has increased enrollment by nearly 40%. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the City of Worcester, on behalf of the people of Massachusetts, and most importantly of all, on behalf of the students she has helped to achieve their dreams, I want to say thank you to Dr. Gail Carberry. We all owe her a heartfelt debt of gratitude and wish her great satisfaction in her endeavors to come.
Well, we are almost there. I mean, what could follow that video of the governor and former governor and the congressman? What special guest could we possibly pull out on this night that has this theme of the Wizard of Oz running through it that could possibly help us sum up this evening before the leadership team comes up and we get out and start doing the hully-gully out there on the dance floor? Ladies and gentlemen, direct from Oz, please welcome Glinda the Good Witch.
Dr. Carberry, greetings, Dr. Dorothy Gail Carberry, from the great people of Oz, also from the wonderful community of QCC, from the city of Worcester, of course, the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts, dare I say it, New England, dare I say it again, the great United States of America, and I would even say it one more time, the entire world. We thank you for your service. So I do come with a poetic proclamation on behalf of all of us, summarizing the love that we feel for you and for you alone. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that she dared to dream really did come true. From most humbled of beginnings, a young girl would each day rise with a stirring in her heart and authentic glimmer in her eyes, determined to empower others with her quick mind, quick wit, and love to make a difference in community with the help from God above. With her vision and foresight, she desired others to succeed, balancing her love of those who struggle with compassion and fierce advocacy. No matter title, backstory, or standing socioeconomically, she knew it was her calling to help others be the best that they could be. Armed with discernment, humor, and fortitude, paired with focused diligence, always a role model for others, admired for her joie de vivre and her energetic exuberance, juggling ideas, teams, strategies, and mitigating project management woes, trusting cyclonic leadership in its process, path, and journey, guided by her ruby-slippered toes. Courageously setting off on a journey to build on foundations she and others made. Tumultuous trials and even stormy successes mark the determination in this decade. Enrollment, engagement, endowments, oh my, the hallmark of her presidential leadership, focused on the thousands of students who crossed her paths, on their stories, their setbacks, and their scholarship. Taking each of their situations to heart, she helped others focus on their education. By sharing all of her life lessons, she helped others with her recipe of information, motivation, and inspiration. Like a skillful servant leader, she'd guide others through their adversity, reminding them that all along they've had within them all they ever needed to be. A character of sincerity and empathy, intellect and kindness, she exudes wisdom and so much grace that no matter what, that fellow travelers in life would sense the journey and know the love of God is upon her face. Heart, mind, body, and soul, she lived a career of helping others, being the mirror of their dreams and goals, reaching out and up to help others. A role model of setting goals and reaching out and help for others. She set up systems to lead and guide with skills aligned, so achievement would be in their future. We salute your heart, your mind, your courage in barrier removing and program developing. We salute your strength, your vision, your wisdom in obstacle overcoming and in community building. They wouldn't have believed me. They had to learn it for themselves. So, Dorothy Gail Carberry, take Glenda as you enter your next phase, knowing that your leadership has paved the way for all things to be well. And I leave you now with the words of another Glenda from The Wiz. As you step out into your next stage of life and your next journey, believe in yourself right from the start. You have courage, you have a heart, and you'll have courage to last your whole life through. So believe in yourself, just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself as we believe in you.
President Carberry, we thank you very sweetly for leading the college so neatly. We thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and for your presence.
When I first met President Carberry, it was in my capacity as student trustee, and I'll never forget what she told me. She said her motto was, when we do good, we do well. And by that she meant when we do the right thing, we're rewarded for it. And that's something that I'll always carry with me, I think, into my future. And it's something that's guided her actions, and you see that in everything that she's done for this college. And so thank you, President Carberry, for everything that you've done for me, for this community, and for this college.
Hi, my name is Holden Lindblom, and as a veteran here at QCC, it was so great to see President Carberry take so much pride in the veteran community. When we did our yard cleanup project last year, she even invited us back to her house for a barbecue. When we opened up the new Veteran Center here at QCC, she was there at the ribbon cutting ceremony to support us.
My very first time writing for the newspaper and doing a report, I'm watching Dr. Carberry taking pictures, everybody's sitting there paying close attention, and then they break out with some gospel music, and Dr. Carberry jumps out of her chair and starts swaying back and forth, singing this gospel, and I was like, whew, my president got soul.
3 years ago, I actually had the opportunity to walk into President Carberry's office for the very first time, and I honestly felt intimidated at the thought of meeting the college president. However, what I found was that she was very kind-hearted, very humble, and very tender.
In one instance, she forewent buying a refrigerator so that she could pay for the students' tuition, and I thought, wow, you know, what a committed president that she would forgo doing something for herself in order to help the student succeed with his education. And so I think it really speaks to how committed she is to student success.
This is about the hardest thing I ever had to do, is say goodbye to a woman who has been my mom, my sister, my friend, somebody who has inspired me when I was ready to give up so many times, who was there for me when I walked that stage in May of 2016. She gives the best hugs, and I don't think anyone could ever fill her place. I'm going to miss her so much.
Thank you, President Carberry, for all that you've done for the student body, myself included. Every time I've bumped into you in the hallway, you've been so great at talking to me about all the things I've wanted to do in the future and here at QCC.
So thank you, President Carberry, for everything that you've done for me, for this college, and for this community. You really have put the community in Quinsigamond Community College.
Thank you, Dr. Carberry. Enjoy holding hands with your husband and the new baby.
Thank you, Dr. Carberry.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carberry, for 10 great years of service. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Dr. Carberry.
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 Thank you, Dr. Carberry, for the last 10 years. You've been fantastic.
Thank you, Dr. Carberry.
Thank you, Dr. Carberry.
Thank you, Dr. Carberry.
Wonderful. Well, we have one more group of people to call up, although I'm glad I'm not following Glinda, who is left in her soap bubble and is headed out over Worcester. But I do want to call up now QCC's executive team to come up to the podium for this final presentation, led by Lillian Ortiz.
If I can click my red ruby shoes, they would be here right now. Come on, people. Come on, folks. We got some dancing to do. Who's gonna have the first dance with Gail? All right, Don. We got you. During the commemoration of QCC's 50th anniversary, the college named 50 Guardians. This honor embodies the spirit of the college's mythological mascot, the Wyvern. And the Wyvern is a guardian protector of Worcester, England, if you didn't know. Today we honor President Gail Carberry as the 51st Wyvern Guardian Protector. Yay! Yay! Gail truly exemplifies the Wyvern spirit, and we are honored to name her the 51st Wyvern Guardian. Congratulations, congratulations. And now you speak. You get to see the last word.
Okay. Damn, you guys. Make it hard. I haven't slept for a couple of nights. I found myself awake and I said, what can I say to summarize everything that's happened in the last 11 years? The people who've pulled with us, the people who've made miracles happen, seriously. What can I say? I said, well, don't forget, Gail, there was a great crowd from Springfield that taught you a lot before you even got to Worcester. I learned a lot about taking risks, but doing it with due diligence. I learned a lot about how to pull some strength when you really needed it. I remember when Stacy Luster stepped up as the board chair. She'd been on the board quite a while. We were about to start pushing the envelope on getting that downtown campus lifted. And she came into the office, and we sat and we chatted, and I said, we're kind of white-knuckling this, Stacy. She said, what do you mean? I said, there's no state safety net. I said, we're doing this on our own. We're building a fee structure, and we're going to lift this campus because it's needed. And she looked at me and she said, oh, you've presented to the trustees with such confidence. I said, yeah, it's all in how you say it. And Stacy, we did it. And we did it. We did it, all of you. We made that happen. It wasn't something that was easy, but it was something that was needed. We had 600 health students needed in this community that were crammed into 10,000 square feet of lab space, and no state support to make a difference. So we started working on solutions. I'll say that you heard about cyclonic leadership. Actually, the term I've used is cyclonic management. You know, in a cyclone keeps moving forward, and it takes everything into it. So with my executive team, I said, look, we can't stop. That cyclone's going to move forward. So what we had for cyclonic management was this philosophy that if we threw all of the variables on a project at the same time into the cloud as it was moving forward, and we trusted each other to manage those elements and to deliver them into the right place at the right time, we could accomplish an awful lot in a very short time. And that team of mine is the most incredible administrative team any president could ever have asked for. And that board of trustees, the several boards of trustees that I've worked with, have always been willing to allow us to take the risks and to make a difference for this community. It's very hard to step away. You saw that little grandbaby. Isn't he the sweetest thing? So I've always believed, I have this plaque on the wall in my family room. It says, make time for quiet moments, for God whispers and the world is loud, especially when you're playing Creedence Clearwater. But God whispers in my ear all the time. He whispers in my ear things we need to accomplish. He whispers in my ear solutions that I never thought of. I couldn't have dreamed of that. He whispers words into my mouth. I'm not a religious person, but I am a truly spiritual person. And I believe there's a spirit in each and every one of us, and that when we combine our spirits, we can move mountains. We've done a lot of that. We've done a lot of that. I look out at my buddy Bill Hart from the executive office. I look at my colleague presidents from community colleges across the state. Some retired, some still at the helm. I look at the presidents from State University, Barry Maloney, one of my good friends for a very long time. I look at the presidents from the private colleges. I will tell you that there are no finer people in the world than those people who run colleges. I'm so proud that my daughter works at Boston University. She knows the power of transforming lives. Though I wish she'd start transforming the lives of those who need it the most, baby. Because you get a lot of spoiled kids over there. Okay, baby. She and I are very open with one another. I have a wonderful family. My husband told you that we've been together for 50 years. They've been good years. We've had our ups and our downs. We've been blessed to have 3 beautiful children that we raised, and now we have 4 wonderful grandchildren. And who could ask for more? The only more that I'd ask for would be that Amy would still be among us, but I know she's with us in spirit at all times. When we first came to the community, I saw that slope in front of the campus, and my grandson Brendan, who was little at the time, took his first sledding ride down that slope, as so many kids in our community do. And I said to my husband, okay, we're ready to make a major gift to this campus. I know what I want for a naming opportunity. And so the college, in its grace, enabled us to name that hill Amy Slope. And it is dedicated to all children and the parents who love them. Thank you for being here tonight, because your support for the Amy H. Carberry Scholarship will allow us to do so much more good in her name. For me, when I Google the name Amy H. Carberry and I see scholarships come up, I know she's still with us. I know she's still being the incredible person that we love. Thank you so much. I lay awake trying to figure out what to say to you, and I said, if I started naming each and every one of you, which is what I did when I was laying in bed, I started about 2 o'clock, and I had a sense of who might be here. And I said, if I name every one of them, we'll be here all night, and they'll be bored to death. So I hear there's some dancing to be had. Now, one of the things I told my husband, and he does not believe this, I've been telling him this for a decade. Honey, when we retire, we're taking ballroom dancing lessons. And I say to him all the time, you think I'm kidding, don't you? Honey, I'm not kidding. Where you see him out on the dance floor, you know we're going to go for lessons. Thank you so much for this wonderful evening. I am so blown away. To the people of Quinsigamond Community College, you are the best. Look what you pulled off tonight. Holy smokes, I'm touched, I'm humbled, I'm grateful. I'm out of words. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Gail Carberry. All right, I think she issued the invitation for everybody to put on their dancing shoes. I'll give you a couple of quick reminders. Thanks to everybody who made this evening so special. Thank you all for coming out. Please go and have your photo taken. I will not guarantee in the back that they will come out as nicely as this photo of Gail from when she graduated from Worcester State University. And if you didn't see that on the back of the program, make sure that you do. That is a fantastic, fantastic photo. So again, thank you all for coming out, making the event so special. Orchestra is returning. We're going to have some wonderful big band music now from Jerry Secco and his big band. Please make sure that you have that photo. And please, please, put on your dancing shoes and join us as the celebration for Gail Carberry continues into the wee hours here at Mechanics Hall.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, is also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful